ይህ የሴቶች 5000 ሜትር የግራንድ ስላም ውድድር ነው። እንደሚታወቀው ግራንድ ስላም ከ3 ሳምንት በፊት በጃማይካ ኪንግስተን ከተማ ተጀምሯል። ለመጀመሪያ ጊዜ ግራንድ ስላም ትራክ የተመሰረተው በማይክል ጆንሰን ነው እና በተለያዩ ከተሞች ይካሄዳል። በ4 ከተሞች በኪንግስተን ተደርጓል ባለፈው 3 ሳምንት በፊት። ከዛሬ ጀምሮ ለ3 ቀናት በማያሚ ይካሄዳል። ከዛ የሚቀጥሉት ከተሞች ፊላደልፊያ እና ሎስ አንጀለስ ላይ ይጠናቀቃል ማለት ነው። በዚህ ውድድር ላይ የሚሳተፉ አትሌቶች 2 ውድድሮችን ይወዳደራሉ። አንደኛውን ረጅም፣ አንደኛውን አጭር ይወዳደራሉ ማለት ነው እና የሁለቱን ውድድር ነጥብ ተሰልቶ ነው አሸናፊው የሚታወቀው ማለት ነው። ከፍተኛ ነጥብ ያመጣ በሁለቱም ውድድር ሻምፒዮን ይሆናል ማለት ነው። ለምሳሌ አንደኛ ለሚጨርስ ሰው በአንድ ውድድር አንደኛ የሚወጣ ሰው 12 ነጥብ አለው። ሁለተኛ የሚወጣ ሰው 8 ነጥብ ይኖረዋል። ሶስተኛ የሚወጣ 6 ነጥብ ይኖረዋል። እስከ ታች እስከ 8 ድረስ ነጥቡ እንደዚህ እየቀነሰ እና በሁለቱም ውድድሮች በአጭሩም በረጅሙ ተወዳድረው በደረጃቸው ማለት ነው የሁለቱ ደረጃ ተሰልቶ ከፍተኛ ነጥብ ያስመዘገበ ሻምፒዮን ይሆናል ማለት ነው እና ሻምፒዮን ሲሆን $100,000 ሽልማት አለው ማለት ነው። አንደኛ ለሚወጣው ሻምፒዮን ለሚሆነው፣ ሁለተኛ $50,000 አለው፣ ሶስተኛ ለሚወጣ 30,000፣ አራተኛ 25,000 እስከ 8 ደረጃ ይሄዳል። ያው የ8ኛው ደረጃ $10,000 ያገኛል ማለት ነው። በዚህ ውድድር ላይ ከኢትዮጵያ መዲና ኢሳ አለች፣ ጽጌ ገብረ ሰላም አለች እና ሂሩት መሸሻ አለች። ከኬንያ አንገስ ንጌቴች አለች። አንገስ ንጌቴች የባለፈውን ኪንግስተን በተደረገው ውድድር ላይ ሁለተኛ ነው የወጣችው። ከእጅጋየሁ ታዬ ጋር ተወዳድራ በጣም ጎበዝ አትሌት ነች። እጅጋየሁ ነች ሻምፒዮን የሆነችው። እንዲሁም ንጌቴች ባለፈው ሳምንት ሮድ ቱ ዘ ሪከርድ ላይ ተወዳድራ የ10 ኪሎ ሜትር የዓለም ሪከርድ አስመዝግባለች እና በጣም ጠንካራ አትሌት ነች። የእሷ ተፎካካሪ አሁን የምትጠብቀው መዲና ኢሳ ነች። መዲና ኢሳ በጣም ታለንት ያላት የ20 ዓመት ወጣት ልጅ ነች። በጣም ጎበዝ ነች። በጣም ፊውቸር ያላት ልጅ ነች በሩጫው ዓለም ማለት ነው። እጅግ ጠንካራ አትሌት ነች መዲና ኢሳ። ባለፈው ሳምንት ልክ እንደ ንጌቴች ሮድ ቱ ዘ ሪከርድ ተወዳድራ በ5000 ሜትር አንደኛ ነው የወጣቸው እና ያ ሞራልን ይዛ እዚህ ላይም ጥሩ ፉክክር እንደምታደርግ ገምታለሁ። ንጌቴች ውድድር ስትወዳደር ከፊት ለፊት ነው መምራት የምትፈልገው። ውድድሩን አክርራ ቆርጣ ለመሄድ ነው የምትፈልገው። ታጅባ ከሌሎች ጋር መሮጥን አትፈልግም። ፑሽ ነው የምታደርገው እንዳየኋት ማለት ነው። የባለፈውን ግራንድ ስላም ኪንግስተን ላይ በተደረገው ውድድር ላይ ከመጀመሪያ ጀምራ ዙሩን አክርራ ብቻዋን ነበር ስትመራ የነበረው ማለት ነው። ከእጅጋየሁ ታዬም ተነጥላ ስትመራ ነበር፣ ግን ወደ መጨረሻ አካባቢ እየቀነሰች መጣች። ከዛ እጅጋየሁ ደረሰችባት እና ከዛ አሸነፈች። በሁለተኛውም ውድድር ልክ እንደዛ ተመሳሳይ ሁኔታ ነው። ከፊት ለፊት ነው የምትመራው። መጨረሻ ላይ ድጋሚ እጅጋየሁ
በፊኒሽንግ አሸነፈቻት እና እንደገና ሮድ ቱ ሬከርድስ ላይ ስትወዳደር ሬከርድ ስትሰብር ከመጀመሪያው ጀምራ ነው ስትመራ የነበረው ማለት ነው፣ ብቻዋን ማለት ነው። እና እዚህ ውድድር ላይም ያንኑ ስታይል ስትራቴጂ የምትጠቀም ነው የሚመስለው። ውድድሩን ከመጀመሪያ ጀምሮ ማክረር እና አትሌቶችን መቁረጥ ማለት ነው የምትፈልገው። የዛ አይነት ስትራቴጂ ነው ያላት እንደሚታየኝ። በዛሬው ውድድር ላይ የሚሳተፉት አትሌቶች የሚቀጥለው ውድድራቸው በ3000 ሜትር እሁድ ነው ከነገ ወዲያ። ስለዚህ የዛሬው ውድድርና የእሁዱ ውድድር ውጤት ተሰልቶ ነው ደረጃቸው ተጨምቆ ነው ሻምፒዮኑ የሚለየው ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ በዛሬ ውጤት ብቻ ሻምፒዮን ማን እንደሆነ አይታወቅም። የሚቀጥለው በ3000 ሜትር የሚደረገው ውድድር ታይቶ ነው ሻምፒዮንነቱ የሚለየው ማለት ነው። ነጌተች ውድድሩን በጣም አፍጥነዋለች። እስቲ እንመልከተው። በጣም አጓጊ ነው።
You start slowing down. If you throw in a 65, for me, you've got to be able to do a couple of laps like that to really break somebody. There's a great British athlete, great friend of mine back in the 70s called Brendan Foster, and Brendan had this tactic of breaking a field up by two laps, and then once everybody's broken, that's it. But she has not broken Isa here, and 67, she just might find that if she can't keep the pressure on, there's still a long way to go here, a long way to go. She can't keep this pressure on, then it becomes easier for Medina Isa to hang on.
Well, she went through 1600, the mile, at 4:34. Excuse me. That's a 14:22 pace for the 5,000 meters. So this is hot.
Yeah, just approaching 2K of 3 and sorry, of 5. Let's not forget. I mean, this pace would be good for a 3K race, but it's a 5K, so something's got to give here. She's either going to slow at the front, or if she can keep this going, surely Isa's going to find this tough. But she knows it's very easy when you're following, isn't it, Carrie? You know, there's no kind of what am I going to do here? It's all you have to do is concentrate on hanging on, and you just hope that the pain, you know, it's going to last to the end of the race, but you hope that this pressure that's being applied is not going to be the pace all the way. They couldn't hold that all the way. It's just a case of what does it come back to? What sort of pace can Ngetic keep on at the front with?
What I find so phenomenal with Ngetic, she is someone that has been, she was in Jamaica, then she went home for a little bit, then she went to Germany and she ran that 10K, the world record for women only in the 10K. Then she's here, she's traveling so much. She loves to travel, but is there a time where you start to feel that travel? Is there a time where you don't get to do a lot of training in between? And she's staying sharp here. And I love what Grand Slam has done, because they will be able to have a little bit of time in between that final Grand Slam in LA and then the World Championships next fall.
That second kilometer was 2:48. I mean, if they ran that pace the whole way, that's 14 minutes. You know, that's the world
Let's
record.
Go.
Well,
Let's
but
go.
That's my point. But she's slowing down, and that's what I was saying. She went 65, 67, 68, and then now is looking round.
She
saying,
is.
Oh, I've got problems here because Isa is still here.
Yeah.
And it's 69 for that lap that they've just completed.
Well, and Mishesha now is starting to enter the picture, and she's in 3rd place there. She is running very well already. She does have a 4:29 under her belt already from this season, so just a week ago. So she knows that she can handle this pace, and if she can keep her eyes up, she can reel them in.
4 seconds behind, and yes, 2 good athletes, very good athletes, best in the world in front. However, they are slowing down, and this to me was a mistake from Ngetic. For me, you run steady, get 5 or 6, 7 laps out of the way, then you go bang, and you've got to be able to maintain that, keep that pressure on in the middle of the race. By running as fast as she did that early, look at her, she's saying, come on, you do some leading. There's no way that Isa is going to come round her. She's just going to sit there, she may be concerned about Mashesha getting closer at some point, but there's no way she's going to leave.
Well, Isa is saving herself for this final kick, in whether it's the last K or what, but she is definitely saving herself here. But I'm liking that Isa is sticking to her plan. I mean, this is what she does. She sits and she kicks. You know, she, like I said, she's only 20 years old, but she knows how to run calm. She knows how to be confident, and she runs her own race.
Jebagatic in 4th place at the moment, a long way distant of 3rd. Mashesha just getting a tad closer. It's now more like 3.5 seconds.
But don't you like how Mashesha is just taking her time as well? I mean, there is still pressure at the front of this race, but she isn't trying to close that gap real quick.
And just to make the point, Mashesha's last few laps have been, you know, 69, 70, 70. She's just running steady while these guys have been slowing down. I mean, I think Gatic probably will look to go again if she can. That's all you can do. You settle at this point in the race and see whether you can go again. That's just counting down how far to go. As an athlete, you don't want to see that.
As a viewer, you do. Oh, that's cool, man.
I shut my eyes.
You're just counting the laps when you're hurting at the front here. And certainly for Isa, she's counting the laps. She's not thinking and knowing. But, as I said, she'll just begin to get a little concerned that Mashesha is close enough. Although I don't think that gap is closing anymore. If anything, Gatic has probably just settled into that 70-second per lap zone and is not getting any slower than that.
Well, Medina, the woman in 2nd there right now, she's not one to have a lot of 1,500 meters, even 3,000 meter races. She has run some 3,000 meter races, but she doesn't have a lot on her CV that shows what her true kick is. But she has great 10Ks. That she's already run a great 10K on the roads this year in, I think, February it was. So she knows she has that strength. But when you watch her, you know she has a lethal kick. I mean, she sits. This is her MO. She sits and she winds it up only when she needs to.
Well, depending on what happens with the pace in the last 3 or 4 laps, and Gatic could well be heading for a new personal best anyway with 5,000 meters on the track. They went through 3K, 3,000 meters in 8:38. There are plenty of women around the world who would be happy for that as a personal best. That gap now to Mashesha starts to grow again.
And they are picking that pace up. We're going to see that the last 400 meters was a 68.
3 to go. It's getting hot again. And Gatic, this is the big effort. This is where she has to try to break Isa. Isa knows if I hang on for another lap, there's just 2 to go. Then there's no way I'm going to let her get away. And if we get to the 400 to go, I'm going to back myself to outkick her. And Gatic knows that. Isa knows that. So the two of them with completely contrasting thought processes going on now. Both are hurting. Both know the pace has been hot. The pace has been fast. All down to Gatic. No way that Isa is going to help. But can Gatic just turn that screw a little bit more? Sadly, I think not there. Carries 71 for that 400.
Well, Gatic is the 2nd fastest half marathoner of all time. She might not have that real true speed, but she knows how to grind it out and hang on for dear life. She says she likes to be in charge. I reached out to her and I said, what do you like about racing? She said, I like to be in charge, and we've seen that time and time again now. Look, you can see she's trying to put a little bit more stress on the pace there, but Medina in 2nd is just hanging on.
2 laps to go. They're heading for something under 14:30, which will be a phenomenal performance from Gatic, as she's pretty much run this from the front, gun to tape. But Isa may well find, I'm sure, some speed over the last lap, last 200, last 300. Who knows? To pull it closer, maybe even to 14:20. Who knows? But she looks tired for the first time. The 20-year-old just rocking a little bit. That is her style. She's one where, you know, you can sometimes tell when she's tired. Some athletes you can't tell at all, but there's only 600 to go. Hang on, that's what you need to do. For Gatic, somehow find a little bit more pressure. 72, she's not able to lift it at all here.
Gatic is a product of great runners. Her mom was an actual track athlete as well, really good runner herself, and now, as you can see, she's still asking for a little bit of help. And Asa doesn't want to give it to her.
Crowd on their feet in the home straight. They're loving this. This has been a great display of distance running. Two of the best in the world record holder for 10K on the roads, coming onto the track to try and take perhaps the best talent, the best young talent that's around on the track at 5,000 and perhaps 10,000 at the moment. Medina Isa of Ethiopia in second place behind Agnes and Gatic, 300 meters left.
She has to go now. Agnes Negetic has to go now because you can see that Medina Isa is just waiting. She's just waiting to move out. But this is where Negetic has to really draw it out. She only has about 2:20 to go.
Still heading for something under 14:30. It'll be a personal best for Gatic, I'm pretty sure, unless she completely falls apart. She tries to lift it a little bit there. Round the top bend, 150 to go. Isa is still waiting, and hats off to Gatic here. She's found something. She's stretching away. Isa's hanging in there. Moves out wide as they come into the home straight. It's the Ethiopian who just comes alongside. The tape is out. It's ready. Who's going to get there? Isa just trying to forge her way ahead. It's so close, but Gatic might hang on. The Kenyan gets it. Wow. Well, sometimes you get your rewards, you get what you deserve, you do the hard work, others follow, others chase, but they can't quite get there. The script said that Isa would sit and sit and sit and sit and then come past in the last 200, and Gatic tried numerous times to break her. However, and Gatic somehow pulled that one out of the bag in the last 100 meters. That was guts, wasn't it? That was brilliant.
I love that. If anyone can go and watch how to finish a distance race, it's right there. You do not give up until you break that tape, and that's exactly what Agnes Negetic did. Watch this last 100 meters. Isa moving up on the outside. And again, it starts to move again. Just look at that arm carriage. She's going for everything right now, knowing that she finished second in both the 5 and the 3 in Jamaica. You know Negetic did not want that to happen. And look at that drive all the way through. She punched that tape. She was pumped. Huge smile. Look at this. The grit, the glory. It's beautiful. I love it.
And she has knocked almost 10 seconds off her previous best for 5,000 meters on the track. Look at that smile, look at that elation, look at the joy there for her. When you